Hello everyone. Today's video is about mitochondrial support. It's actually a video about my favorite mitochondrial support supplement. Just before I jump into the content of the video, if you could please take a quick second to please either like, share, subscribe, and or post a quick comment on the video. I'd really appreciate it. So thanks in advance for taking a second to do that. And as per usual, nothing I'm saying should be construed as medical advice. This is for informational purposes only. If you need medical advice, please talk to your healthcare provider to get that advice. So I posted a video a while ago called When Does Mitochondrial Support Fail? And somebody posted a question on that video saying, hello, is the mitochondrial support that I mentioned in the video a supplement that can be purchased? If so, what is it called? Thank you. So thank you for the question. So the video about when does mitochondrial support fail was basically talking about how if we just work with, say, mitochondrial support nutrients, or are working with a formula that's not a comprehensive mitochondrial support, we might see failure in that case, because treating the mitochondria effectively is in not every case, but in a number of cases, a multi-step process. So that was the context of that. Mitochondrial support oftentimes works very, very well when it's the right support and given at the right time, assuming that we have other factors in place. So please reference that video if you're so inclined to get more information about the mitochondria. But to answer this question more specifically, so the mitochondrial support that I mentioned in the video is made by this company called Signature Supplements. Signature Supplements is a company that's located in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, just adjacent to Halifax, Nova Scotia, probably the best known Nova Scotian city to non-Nova Scotians. Nova Scotia, for those who don't know, is a province in Canada, which is a lovely country in North America. And so Signature Supplements makes this product. Now, Signature Supplements is a compounding supplement company, meaning that unlike many other supplement companies, I'd say most other supplement companies, they don't sell their products at a storefront. They don't sell them online. They're only able to actually compound supplements for clinics or health food stores that order their particular products in. Just has to do with sort of some of the rules and legalities around putting together certain products and selling them to folks in Canada anyways. So the formula is called mitochondrial support formula, but if you go online, look up, I want to order a bottle of this or whatnot, or go to the health food store or supplement store to look for it, you're not going to be able to find it, because it has to be sold through again, health food store that carries their products, or through directly through a clinician, like through a clinic. But even with the health food stores, they're only able to carry their products if there's a clinician on site who's specifically prescribing those formulas for the individuals in question. That's my understanding of it anyways. I'm not involved with Signature Supplements. I'm not financially associated with them in any way, shape, or form. We do carry a bunch of their products and sell them to our patients. I take a bunch of their products personally myself, including mitochondrial support formula, but that's the story with that product. So if a person wants to access that mitochondrial support formula, you'd have to get that through your clinician. Now, I have patients that I consult on their cases all around the world, and I can speak from, I guess, third-hand experience that Signature Supplements is able to drop ship that product and other products to people that live outside of Canada. So I have patients that I'm working with in the States, who, like in the United States of America, who are getting that product drop shipped to them. I have had patients in Australia who have had it drop shipped to them. I had patients in Germany who've had it drop shipped to them. I believe a patient in India who had it drop shipped to them. So they're able to drop ship to different places. And then some patients that I work with, they just get it through their clinician ordering it in, or whatever it happens to be. But those are definitely locations that I know the company can specifically send it, but it has to be prescribed by a clinician. They can't just drop ship it to folks who are just give them a call and ask to have it sent out. So that's the story with the Signature Supplements mitochondrial support formula. Again, I have no financial affiliation with that or that company in any way, shape, or form, so I have no financial interest in whether folks support Signature Supplements or not. I really like the company. I think they're a great company, and again, many of their products. I've used them for years, but I have no financial investment in them or the sale of that product in any way, shape, or form. and those of you listening to the video, if you made it this far and you're like, what the heck is he talking about? Like, what's so special about this mitochondrial support formula? As I've talked about in other videos, and I'll just quickly mention here, when it comes to working with a mitochondrial support formula, in my opinion and in my extensive experience now, I've found that using a comprehensive formula is much, much more effective by and large than working with mitochondrial support formulas that only support certain aspects of the mitochondria or have kind of limited dosages of various components that the mitochondria need. So the mitochondrial support formula that I recommend, it's got 15 ingredients in it, and they're all at robust dosages. So it's a very robust dose of vitamin B1, a robust dose of vitamin B3 in the form of niacinamide. It's got a robust dose of vitamin B5 and taurine and proline and carnitine, and then it has less robust but still clinically it's kind of the clinically necessary doses, shall we say, of things like R plus alpha lipoic acid and mixed tocopherols, mixed tocotrienols, which are forms of vitamin E. It's got molybdenum in it, it's got zinc in it, so it's got quite a few different ingredients in it. And what I found is that when I previously had tried other mitochondrial support supplements that were made by different various supplement companies out there, you look at the label and you're like, yeah, it's got some carnitine in there, it's got some CoQ10, it's got some taurine, like, let's give it a try. And I found that it was quite rare that it made a clinical difference, to the point where, I had tried maybe 3 or 4 different companies' mitochondrial formulas, like my patient's fatigued, I have brain fog, like let's give them some mitochondrial support to jack up their energy. And it was quite rare that I saw it make much of a difference. And in all fairness, my patient population tends to be more challenging cases, a lot of really debilitating, difficult cases. So I'm certainly not insinuating that in less complicated cases, or maybe just in another clinician's hands, maybe I'm just not destined to work with those formulas. They work great for other clinicians. I don't know. But at least in my experience, those formulas did not work well for my patients. Maybe for less complex cases, less sick folks, maybe they work really well. And if that's the case, wonderful. But in my experience with my patient population, I saw very, very few instances of them helping at all. So I kind of gave up on mitochondrial support until eventually, through the inspiration of one of my wonderful mentors, Dr. Paul Anderson, brilliant naturopathic doctor. Highly recommend checking out his Instagram content, YouTube content. He talks about a lot of great things. I'll tag him in this video, so if you want to check out his profile, highly recommended. But largely through his inspiration with his ongoing continuing education, because he puts out webinars all the time for clinicians to keep their learning up and learn about new things. He talks a lot all the time about all the myriad nutrients that are important for the mitochondria to function. I thought, why don't we just give all of them at a robust dose? And thankfully, Signature Supplements, this kind of specialized compounding supplement company, they make custom formulas for patients. Generally speaking, they have good price points on their products, and so they put this formula together for me at, in my opinion, a very, very reasonable cost. And that's what I started using ever since that time, and it's just made all the difference in the world. Instead of a mitochondrial formula rarely providing any benefit to patients, again, in my experience, it made a difference in a vast majority of patients who work with it when it's timed correctly. And that's where my other video, the when does mitochondrial support fail, is when it's not timed correctly. We have to have other pieces of the puzzle figured out, but I won't recapitulate that entire video here. If you want to check that one out, easy to search on my YouTube channel, or sift through whatever social media platform you're watching this on and find it. But yeah, timing is everything in many facets of life, including mitochondrial support. So Signature Supplements, mitochondrial support formula, that's the name of the product. It's not an original name. I'm a fairly intelligent guy, just not the most original when it comes to naming things. So that's the name that I came up with. And again, they made the product at my behest, and then other clinicians started asking about it. I've lectured about this at different conferences and whatnot. So they'd email me saying, like, is it okay if we sell your, you made up this product, but like, is it okay if this other person buys it? Like, yeah, anybody that wants to, use that formula, go for it. Again, I have no financial interest in it. I don't get kickbacks in any way. They were just polite enough to ask my permission to say, hey, can folks, use your intellectual property, I suppose, and like absolutely just want folks to get better and be able to access this. So mitochondrial support formula, Signature Supplements brand, and that's the answer to that question. Thank you again for asking the question. If anybody has any questions or comments on this topic or anything else, just post in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer as soon as I can.